1-800-Flowers.com, code HERD. Can I just say I don't get something? If you had a kid, and the kid was like, 15, 16 years old, and you were like, he's a good kid, he gets great grades, he's a good little athlete, he's a class leader, but you were like, well, he's not really social. The social will come. Okay, if you have a kid that's a great student and a great kid, and he's empathetic, and he helps kids cross the street, and he's a class leader, and he's got some talent, and he's not really a social animal, A, that can come. B, he's doing everything else fine. I don't get the Ben Simmons critics. He's an elite defender. There's two things in basketball that matter. Get the ball in the hoop. Keep the ball out of the hoop. He's incredibly productive at both. At 20 years old. Do you know how few NBA rookies walk into this league at guard and are elite defenders? Let's start with virtually nobody. He is leading the NBA point guards in blocks. He's third in steals. And they have a certain analytic where they rate point guards defensively. He's number one. He's averaging 16 a game, 8.5 assists, 54.5% from the floor. He's doing everything right. Look at him finish at the rim. He finishes like a power forward. You can't teach that. I can make a kid be a little more social. I can get him into, whatever. You get him into a jazz club. You get him into neighbors' kids. You get him into some sports. You get him into, Minecraft, whatever. I can work on that, but if you're a dope, you're a dope. If you're a bad kid, you're a bad kid. Where's the foundation here? Ben Simmons' foundation is outrageous. He is 6'10", can't teach it. Court vision, can't teach it. 16'8", 55%. Rookie, can't teach it. Leads the NBA in blocks at point. Third in steals. Great defensive analytic player. You guys are beating on him for something I can teach. I can teach a jumper. I can't teach 6'10". I can't teach tough. I can't teach length. I can't teach first step. I can't teach finish at the rim. I mean, you can't. A guy's either aggressive and finishes at the rim or he doesn't. This kid's amazing. That the critique of him's dumb. Now, I don't think, by the way, in one terrible game, I think probably Boston wins tonight. But if Philadelphia wins, they're doing it with two players. Covington's been a bust. Markelle Fultz is a bust. They're doing it with two guys. Veteran newsman John Goulet.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Colin, the Rockets will have home court advantage, obviously, against the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. However, the Vegas has said that the Warriors are favorites to win that series.
Yes.
They have the Warriors as minus 185 to win the series, whereas the Rockets are plus 155. That means that if you bet $100 on the Rockets, you win $155 back. Now, here's what I found interesting. Well, all that being said, the Rockets are actually 2-point favorites in Game 1.
Yeah,
so Vegas is telling you they think the Rockets are going to win Game 1, but are a pretty big long shot to win the series overall.
Yeah, I would take Golden State in the points. Yeah, I tend to think there's 3 games in a series that matter. Game 1 is one of them, Game 3 is another, and the final game. Generally, the team, I think it's 75% of the time, the team that wins the series wins Game 1. I'll take Golden State in Game 1.
I just found it odd that the Rockets are favored in Game 1, even if it is at home.
I don't think Houston's a great home court either. I never have.
Well, in the first quarter they're not because the arena's still half empty, so certainly not early. The Knicks might be planning for a season without Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL back in February, was expected to miss 10 months. That would put him out until December. However, according to Walt Frazier, who did an interview with SNY, he said that he doesn't see Porzingis playing at all this coming season because his rehab is not going well. Now, their owner, James Dolan, said that he's unsure if Porzingis will play. Part of what's been discussed is why do you have him come back midway through the season? They have no shot at even probably making the playoffs. Why risk it? He's your entire future.
Yeah, everybody's saying LeBron could go to New York. He's not going to New York, and this is the reason. If Porzingis had never had an injury, you can make a very compelling argument that LeBron gets on the phone with Paul George and says, dude, me, you, and Porzingis are winning the East, and you can make an argument that would happen. This is why LeBron's not going to New York. He's not going to saddle him. So one of the reasons I think LeBron is hesitant about Philadelphia is we've seen Embiid on the floor like this before. And LeBron's saddling himself to injured guys. By the way, he was in Miami. D-Wade and Bosh got hurt. He's been in Cleveland. Kyrie and Kevin Love have been hurt. LeBron's not going to a place where the big has a history of injuries. He's not doing it.
I would also say that while that may be on the list of reasons to not go to New York, there's probably a few others that are up top of that list.
Yeah.
Right. And finally, last month, Zlatan Ibrahimovic made his debut for the LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
He had that 40-yard goal, as well as a game winner. It was a lot of fun. Another major international star that even some non-soccer fans may have heard of is reportedly in very serious talks to come to the MLS.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney.
Oh, yeah.
Who played forever for Manchester United.
Yes.
He's now on Everton. He is close to signing a deal with DC United.
I would love that. They're kind of a mess as a franchise. I would love that.
All right, so how much, now he's obviously a lot older, but how much fun would that be, and how great would that be just for the popularity of MLS to have another huge international star, albeit past his prime, playing in that league?
Hey, listen, there's a lot of talk in the MLS. They're not, should we go with our young American stars or should we get these international guys? If you can bring international names over, bring international names over. Don't kid yourself. Baseball's had success bringing over Japanese baseball stars. The NBA had great success. Anytime you can make our game and connect it to England, La Liga, the English Premier League, the German leagues, it is all
Anyone
good.
you can get who you've played with if you played FIFA, the video game.
Yes.
You want those people in the league.
Yes. Veteran newsman John Goulet.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line
I got to
News.
bring in Eric Dickerson. He and I are going to disagree on stuff. He's a Hall of Famer, 11 seasons, multiple-time Pro Bowler, led the NFL in rushing 4 times. So you are a guy that lives in L.A. and you don't buy Sam Darnold? You don't buy Sam Darnold.
I didn't say I don't buy him. I mean, look, I like Sam Darnold. I do like him as a player. A lot of times it depends on what team you go to.
Okay.
And that can make or break your career.
There's no question.
And the Jets is not a team that I see could really help him. I mean, I don't see that this is a team that
You don't like Todd Bowles, the coach?
I like Todd Bowles, the coach, but he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't see him having a lot of success there. I mean, I may be wrong, and I'm always for the player, know that.
You're always for the player.
Always for the player, but
You think Baker Mayfield's going to work in dysfunctional Cleveland?
I like that pick. I know that sounds crazy.
Oh God! What?
You know why I like Baker? I like Baker because Baker is he is who he's not arrogant. He's a guy that just plays from the heart. He loves football. Watch the guys around him. At Oklahoma, watch the guys. I hate to say when he grab, the guys like, yeah, come on.
So I'm going to draft a guy because the guys around him go, yeah.
No.
It looks like the guys at USC like Sam Darnold.
But I'm not saying they say because they like. Now you don't draft him for that reason, but he's a player. He's a real player. He really is. And I'm not saying Sam Darnold isn't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that by no means.
That guy sounds like it.
I'm not saying that. Sam Darnold. How many games he played?
2 years, 26.
There you go. I mean, and he's going to the National Football League where everything is faster, different, more physical.
No, that's a fair criticism.
Yeah, so I mean,
that's not a ridiculous criticism.
That's one of my
Sam is young and hasn't played a lot of starts. I think the criticism of Sam is he's still in the developmental stage.
Exactly.
I have no problem with that fundamental argument. But this whole thing about Baker Mayfield, got a police video, I got dinking around, I got headband guy, I got all sorts of crotch grabbing on that kind of stuff. Who are your quarterbacks?
My quarterback?
Yeah.
Vince Ferragamo.
Okay, grown up in real estate in Southern California. Did you guys win games?
Of course.
Oh, good, because he's a grown up. Where did you go and you didn't win games?
I went to Indy.
Yeah, who was your quarterback there?
Who was my quarterback?
The cocky Jeff George.
No, Jeff came later. Let me tell you something. People got the wrong impression. Jeff is a really, really good. I get sick of people. Jeff was a good guy, a great teammate, but had no one to coach him at the position. That's what it was all about. We had no one he could learn from. I mean, it was like, okay, just throw it deep. I mean, and that's not fair to Jeff. I mean, it's a lot of guys that when you play with a player, you know the player. I mean, media. You have a different perception of it because, you're just on the outside looking in.
Right.
When you're in the locker room with a guy, you know this guy's character. It's some guys that they build up. Oh, he's such a great guy. But the guys playing like, he's an ass. We can't stand him around
Well, let's talk about Josh Rosen. So Josh Rosen gets picked. Listen, Josh Rosen, listen to this.
Okay.
So yesterday driving home, I get into a 19-minute conversation with an executive, pretty much a guy that runs an NFL team.
Okay.
He's a big shot, and he has a history of drafting a lot of good players. He said, we found out Josh Rosen is one of 2 quarterbacks to be kicked out of the Peyton Manning camp. The other was Johnny Manziel, and we were like, no, thank you. So here was Rosen after he got picked by Arizona. Here's a soundbite.
Okay.
I was pretty pissed off. I fell. 1, 2, and 3 went by, and just kind of went into a blur after that. I was really angry. Teams were passing on me, and I was honestly expecting to get picked at some point and have to fake a smile and go up and pretend to be happy. But for some reason, when I got picked, all of that went away, and it just went to straight excitement and relief. There were 9 mistakes made ahead of me, and I will make sure over the next decade or so they will know that they made a mistake.
By the way, you say Baker, you're
Well,
kind of guy.
wait. First of all, I couldn't hear what he said. I didn't hear what he said. So kind of give me.
He basically said I was pissed that I got drafted 10th. And then I was ticked off and thought I was going to have to fake how happy I was, but I went to Arizona, I'm happy. You like that? He used the word pissed.
Look, hey, a couple quarterbacks didn't go in Elway. He didn't want to go to Baltimore. Probably the best thing he didn't. But
Eli didn't want to go to San Diego.
San Diego. I mean, so you have quarterbacks that say those kind of things. Say stuff that is not popular. You know what it's all about, Colin? It's about how you play. That interview right there, if he plays great, they'll forget all about that. I like Josh Rosen. I played golf with him years ago. Good kid, very smart.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes says things he shouldn't say at the time. But, you know, it's not about what you say, it's how you play. I mean, and that's what it comes down to in the NFL. It's not what you say, it's how you play on the football field. If he goes out and plays very well, they'll be forgotten.
How do you think Baker and Josh, because Darnold's kind of a stoic, quiet kid.
Yeah. How
do you think the whole Baker-Josh big opinion guy is going to work in a 21-year-old guy in an NFL locker room? How would you, Eric Dickerson, I'm going to the Hall of Fame, I run all day long, I'm amazing, 19-year-old kid barking at you in the locker room.
It's not going to happen. I mean, it won't happen like that because he's got a lot of veteran players on that team in Arizona for sure. Now, in Cleveland, it's a little bit different. And I don't see Baker as being that guy. You know, I don't see him as being the guy that's going to try to take over a locker room his rookie season.
What about Josh Rosen?
I don't see him doing his rookie season either. I mean, I don't see that. Who's the quarterback there?
Sam Bradford.
No, Sam Bradford. So Sam Bradford, well, you know, he's glass, man. He can't probably stay healthy, but he'll probably play early.
So I'm saying, when you were in the NFL and a star, did you want to listen to a 21-year-old?
It's different when we played because when we played, guys, I had a veteran football team. And I came in with saying, yes, sir. That's how I was taught. Yes, sir. No, sir. I mean, I was respectful. And because the guys would jump on you back in them days.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't touch these guys now. So it's a little bit different. I still think that he'll do very well in Arizona. Like I said, I like him as a player. I like both of them. I like Sam Darnold. I mean, I like Darnold. Don't get me wrong. I think in New York it's going to be a problem. But I think Josh Rosen in Arizona, I think it's a good fit. And I think Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, as bad as Cleveland is, I'm pulling for Cleveland. I want to see him win some games. I think he'll do well there after a while.
Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson. Good seeing you, buddy. Coming up, I'm going to change everything you thought you knew about the NBA. That's next in Best for Last. All right, Mother's Day is Sunday. It is Sunday. Don't mess around. May 13th, Sunday. Your mom, your grandma, does your sister have kids? Your wife. Mother's Day, Sherry Berries, $19.99 plus shipping and handling. $19.99 is all it costs. You will get in a signature gift box a beautiful ribbon, no gift wrap, fresh, huge, juicy strawberries dipped in milk, dark white chocolate, topped with rich chocolate chips, chopped nuts, signature swivels. You choose the delivery date. It's guaranteed. Customer satisfaction is number one. If you add $10 more, you get double the berries for just $29.99. Remember, berries.com, code HERD. BERRIES. BERRIES.com, code HERD. $19.99 plus shipping plus handling.
Some things should never change, like the crisp, cold refreshment of Busch.